I'm going to give this weapon very little praise, because in the end, all I ask myself is why. But why? Why do I continue to use it? I'm going to fully cover my issues with the 180 RPM hand cannon. Is it a fun little weapon in sixes? Sure. Lots are, though. I'm going to have some moments in this gameplay that's going to see some strength from it. But in reality, big picture, it's always a bad thing that your success with a weapon is strictly due to your opponent doing something bad or missing, because that's what's happening. That's the reality, and there's no working around it. So it's rant time. This needs to be hashed out. I'm not going to say that this thing's awesome, because it's not. I'm not going to say it's the best 180, because it's not. I'm not going to say that it's a must-have. It is not. I'm not going to get on board with that. I'm not going to paint this thing any other way than exactly how it is. Even every single roll that does well, I still have major issues with, and I'm going to break down why. Some weapons that have similar issues are okay because they're competitive. They're competitive with either their TTK or other strengths. And the other strength part is critical, like Aisha, Contingency Plan, Rapid Fire Scouts, lots of range, great stability, 0.93 TTK, they can compete. And I felt for years that the 180 RPM hand cannons need an update. Some sort of update. They struggle in the sandbox, they've always struggled in the sandbox, and right now in the current sandbox, they're struggling the most. The first thing, they have a 1 second time to kill. Let's break that down. 3 head, 1 body, or to low resilience guardians, 2 head, 2 body. 1 second TTK, literally everything in the game beats that. Name a weapon, it beats it. In a duel, you're hoping that you flinch them. You're hoping that they make a mistake. You're hoping for a lot of things. The other 1 second optimal TTK weapons are the 120 hand cannons, but those have a strength, it's range. The base hand cannon flinch multiplier on top of that. 180 scouts, they have a 1 second TTK, you don't see them either. Same reason, you know why. They don't have a strength. There's nothing special about them. They bring nothing to the table, and as a scout, you can use literally any other frame and do better. The second thing, you see this a lot, right guys? What happens when you have the slowest TTK weapon in the game going up against an enemy with an overshield? Which, if you've been paying attention, happens quite a bit. Yeah, it makes the TTK longer. No shot. It's got a base 1.3 TTK to take them out. Issue number 3, they have, quote, ease of use. You're trading a 1 second TTK, really great stability, maybe 3 head, 1 body with an appropriate resilience level. My issue is, I don't know guys, I might be out of line here, but a near max range rangefinder 90 plus aim assist palindrome has some pretty flippin' nice ease of use to it as well. Messenger has some pretty good ease of use to it. Then there's things like, well, you don't need Icarus because the frame, yeah, that's cool. Landing 39 to the body, 57 to the crit, I guess, to help that 1 second TTK along, sure. But so far, it may sound like I'm really trashing these. That's because I am. But I'm a believer that if a weapon does well for you, just use it, have fun. I personally have way too many issues with it, and we're going to keep going. When we get into the perks, first node, tunnel vision, steady hands, compulsive reloader, adaptive munition, stats for all. Second node, adagio, iron reach, iron grip, one for all, kill clip, eye of the storm. I want to give my stance on some perks on this thing. I do not recommend or want win now perks. I've talked about this philosophy in the past in reviews. A win now perk is a perk that happens in every single gunfight. It helps you win right now. Think moving target, think firmly planted. It's for every gunfight. And a win later perk is after that initial gunfight. So kill clip, the perfect example. It doesn't help in your initial engagement, but after you win, you reload, it helps you win later and win more. So things like Eye of the Storm, Iron Reach, Iron Grip, I am heavily against, and here's why. And when I say this out loud, I really hope that you think about it, work it through. Eye of the Storm states that the weapon becomes more accurate, boosts handling as your health gets lower. Here's the deal. First, they're very high accurate frames in the first place. Eye of the Storm is gonna help, it's always gonna help, but mainly, with the 1 second TTK, it isn't helping you win anything. Because if a messenger, a palindrome, an ace, a gnawing hunger, pretty much literally anything kills you optimally, 99 out of 100 times, your fourth bullet, your killing bullet, never leaves the barrel. You're gonna shoot 3 shots, the fourth's never gonna go out, and you're gonna be down. So think about it, it can't even help you. Because when push comes to shove and you need it, and they're landing shots on you, it's never gonna come into play fully. There are different levels to Eye of the Storm, but why? Because again, you're banking on them missing, on them messing up. Things need to happen for that perk to activate. If you have something like Eye of the Storm on Cantata, it's happening in every single gunfight if everyone's landing their shots. That's where it can help you, but this one, you can't even get out the final killing blow. Then we have things like Iron Reach, same deal. Extending your optimal range, it sounds great. But again, think about it. If you were to go all range, and I'm talking full bore, range masterwork, accurized rounds, you get 97 on the range bar, 34.8 meters, until that crit has some drop off. Your stability's tanked to 27, but that's all right. But I ask you again, why? You're extending the range, and when you do that, you're really starting to get into the depths of the God Roll palindromes, the messengers, the other meta weapons, just so you can extend your 1 second TTK weapons range. What good is that doing? It's like you're going into the deep end of a pool with something that shouldn't try to be there. The same thing with Iron Grip. If you go max stability perks, which this thing can get to 100 stability, but wait for it, that's for a 28.3 drop-off range. Again, cool. 1 second TTK and a range gap that everything destroys it in. And all those things come up, you're banking on them to miss. They have overshields. And then, I haven't talked about it, but also consider your flinch. If you get flinched, the TTK jumps automatically to 1.3. Like, I can't recommend any of these perks. I just can't do it. And as I go on here, we're gonna fall into the same things that we've always fallen into with these. That brings up 2 specific perks that we have seen before on 180s, Kill Clip and Adagio. And the track record, this has always been the go-to on these. Think about that, always. It's not a surprise. I just went over in the crate video not too long ago on how Adagio helps the fastest and slowest rate of fire weapons. Like, first of all, the crate has a 0.77 TTK in the first place. It's competitive. It can stand to get flinched. It can stand for you to miss some shots. It can still be competitive at that point. 180 hand cannons don't have that luxury. With it being the fastest firing hand cannon, Adagio lasts for 7 seconds, gives plus 10 range, and on hand cannons, you get a 15% rate of fire reduction. This reduction puts it technically between a 140 and 150 hand cannon. It leans more to a 140, but it's actually just a tad bit faster. Adagio makes it deal 75 crit, 50 body, so 2 head and 1 body. That's better, right? I mean, it is. But again, why? This is a damage perk, and I hate to be Captain Obvious here, the bearer of bad news at the same time. And if this is new to you, I'm sorry. But spoiler alert, any weapon that gets a damage perk's gotta be better. You're just doing it with the base 1 second TTK that flips it, in this case, with Adagio to a 0.8.87, which that TTK is the baseline TTK of the entire sandbox. Most weapons kill in that at base, so you need kills to get on the same level as an average weapon's base TTK. And before I jump into Kill Clip, with all this being said, as we go through the stages of grief, you might be in the bargaining stage. Well, if you're a controller player, it can feel good. Or hey, when you have Adagio going, Kill Clip going, it slaps. Those things can be true, but again, why? Every single 180 that has come out, think about it. The God Roll for the Crucible pretty much always ends with Kill Clip or multi-kill clip. And if it was that good, you would see them, right? You would load up in trials and see the start screen and be like, oh man, not again. 3 Kill Clip Survivor epitaphs. Focus up, boys. Never, not once, that has ever happened. The truth is, those perks are default because they need them. Keyword, need them. Again, you can have fun in 6v6. You can go on little streaks from time to time, but the stars have to align for A, them messing up somehow, and then B, it's purely damage focused with how you use this thing. And with its damage perks, I'm gonna get into Kill Clip in a moment, right now Adagio matches other base weapons TTK. So this review, just like all the other 180 RPM hand cannons, is gonna end up the way they all end up, with damage perks. Kill Clip, 76 to the head, 51 to the body, but you keep the rate of fire, a 0.67 TTK. And just a little reminder, that's the base messenger TTK, so imagine what Kill Clip on that's like. I'm off the train. It is not good. I'm not gonna say that it's good. It's got multiple issues. You fight for damage perks that match base TTKs. You deal with overshields. You deal with a lot. And on a 180, speaking of Adagio, Vulpecula has 2 better perks for that. Encore with Adagio or Killing Wind with Adagio. And speaking of Vulpecula, that's the only 180 that I gave praise to. And that was simply because it was the first ever weapon with Headstone. That was a sandbox change, that was a build change, that was a strength. It was the only thing that could do it, aside from Peace Bond, so this was the most range weapon with Headstone. So yeah, there was value in that. But when it comes to these, if you like them, I want you to know that I'm technically on your side. If anything, I hope you agree with everything here and become an advocate for things to change. You can still like them, but not be happy with them. And for over a year, there's been lots of speculation on what they could do. Maybe RPM change to 200 RPM. And as crazy as it sounds, 200 RPM gets it to a 0.9 TTK, and that's actually competitive. It's a game changer for it, because even server-side ties with the 140 RPM hand cannon is gonna happen. One's 0.87, one's 0.9. There's a number of things they can do, and it's about time that they do something. And when I saw this particular hand cannon revealed, I called it, I knew it was a 180, and when I saw that, I was thinking, sweet, they made a brand new 180. That probably means that they adjusted the 180s. Nope, it's literally more of the same. A couple of other notes, adaptive munitions is here, it might be worth a pickup. The Augma does it 100 times better, but it's there. It has the intrinsic trait, Skulking Wolf. During the hunt, final blows of this weapon grants enhanced radar, and you're removed from opposing radar. Cool. awesome. It's kind of a shame it doesn't have one quiet moment to pair with, but I would like Skulking Wolf kind of mess with as well. So to me, it's just a miserable experience. I'm not going to say that it's great. It's not. I'm not going to paint it any other way than exactly what it is. It's not good. They need help. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. I want to hear your thoughts on all this. If these are your favorite weapons, that's cool. You do you. And since it is your favorite weapon, I really hope that someday, hopefully soon, they make them a little bit better for you. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.